So this is Final Fantasy VII First Soldier. A game that's arguably just a mistake to even make. But here we are. It is currently in closed beta early access, and for some reason they let me in on that test. So I thought I'd give it a try and show it off because there's no NDA or anything. And it's interesting. Up front, it is a battle royale game using the Final Fantasy VII universe with materia, jobs, and various monsters and things like that from the universe. There's also summons. I haven't found any yet, but apparently they exist. It's all very weird. I'm not saying it doesn't work, because it kind of does, actually. And it's not unfun. Like, I enjoy playing it, but it's just so clunky right now. And I don't really know what the point of it is, if that makes sense. So, first off, there's a fairly normal, kind of, free-to-play menu here with your customization stuff. At least as far as this beta test, it doesn't seem like you can actually customize your character's appearance. You can only customize, the clothes and things like that. And then there's also various different vehicles that are scattered around the maps, and you can customize those, as well as the helicopter that drops you into the map. And, of course, there's a paid currency shop, but I can't really test that out. There's not much on it. So it uses in-game gil and, what I assume is a paid puzzle currency. But again, I don't really know anything about it. But this is the, mobile gamey side of things, the menus. I like to get that out of the way before we move into the actual game. Visually, it's very nice looking. The menus are clean. Graphics are, it's got really nice character models and decent backgrounds and things like that. It kind of looks like a PSP, or it kind of looks like a PS Vita game, I should say. Which is about to be expected with modern gaming. I am running max settings on a Galaxy Note 10 Plus, so I'm guessing this is about as good as it's gonna look. It's possible they might, update it over time, but I think it looks great. The colors are a little muted and stuff, but that's honestly just Midgar. That's how it looks. I don't fault the game for that. But, jumping into the actual thing, the first thing I noticed was just a bad UI. I'm not a big fan of, touchscreen buttons for games anyway. That's why I don't really get into a lot of them. But even as far as, virtual analog sticks and things like that, that's fine. It's passable. The problem here is how small these buttons are. So, at any given time, you have your melee weapon, your guns that you've picked up, which you can toggle between two, and there's a bunch of different variety of ones. Your, health pickups, like potions and things, and any materia that you have. And materia work just like the normal magic system, where you throw it out and it does some kind of thing to manipulate the battlefield. You drop ice and it shoots out a kind of a little icicle turret, whereas bio or whatever it's called will just create a lingering poison cloud that does damage over time. So they have their different purposes. My favorite's probably arrow, because it creates basically a jump pad, which is really handy. But yeah, in general, fairly basic stuff. But all of these buttons are on the touchscreen, and you just kind of have to tap it and go. And while you're also trying to move and aim, it's real chunky. And especially the way you aim the magic is weird anyway. So combine that with touchscreen controls, and it's not good. There's not really much point in even using magic, because you'll probably die just finicking with the... Finicking? Just messing around with the finicky controls to do it in the first place. And then when you go to chests and things like that to pick up equipment, that's also kind of a fairly small button that you have to hit on screen to open the chest or whatever. And then to an extent, it does auto pickups, which is nice, for ammo and things like that. But once you fill up all your weapon and materia slots and stuff, you still have to make some choices. And that's still kind of chunky. I know that's kind of how a lot of these Battle Royale games are, but like it doesn't seem as quick to get in and get out of your inventory. You know what I mean? So while there's some really cool mechanics to this, like the way they kind of build in the Final Fantasy VII stuff with magic and melee and all that, really the only thing that feels good to actually do is move and shoot, which kind of demeans the whole like uniqueness of this game. Because at that point, it's just 75 soldier agents, or soldier recruits drop into Midgar and beat each other up until there's only one left, I guess. The story there is a little shaky in the first place. But anyway, aside from just fighting each other, there's also monsters littered around the field that will give you rare treasure drops and things like that. And there's also some challenges that like ask you to, just beat different enemies and stuff. So there are some neat kind of PvP or PvE elements there, but also killing those things tends to give away your location, and they do damage to you, so you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage taking out the enemies when you'll probably get killed in the process once you're weakened. But it's cool that they're there. It makes us feel like a more lived-in world. I kind of wish there was maybe like a team PvE mode or something, which maybe there will be eventually. But like I'm thinking, where each team is dropped and like it's a race to beat the most like monsters on the field or something. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is a new Battle Royale game coming out in 2021 when the market's a little oversaturated and it's only on mobile with some pretty bad touch controls. So there's not a lot to grab onto here. But that being said, I captured some footage, like the footage you've been watching, with just the touch controls. So I do want to kind of show off some gameplay also, just as a little preview, some live gameplay of the controller side of things. And I will explain the controller mapping is strange, but I will explain that as we go. Okay, so like right away I noticed the kind of weird controls because nothing on the main screen can be used with your controller. You still have to tap all of the buttons, including start. And there's also no options in the settings to map the controls for the game. Again, this is still in beta. It's very possible that they will add in button configurations, but the fact that they have controller support makes me think that they should have something. But once you actually get into, moving your character around and stuff, it does feel pretty good. Use one stick to move your character, the other stick to move the camera, fairly normal stuff. And then you can shoot. You can aim down the sights. You can toggle between your weapons with the bumpers. Weirdly, it requires you to actually, hit each bumper. It's not, one bumper switches between each weapon. It's a weapon is tied to each bumper, basically. But it's not that big a deal, I guess. So, also here is where you pick your different styles. I didn't really touch on them. They're kind of like your job. They basically give you different class skills and things like that. Let's see, where are we dropping, boys? Let's do the train graveyard. That's a well-known area. But yeah, you can also, you can control your starting helicopter and everything with the controller. So, starting off, just jumping into the game, it feels pretty good to do. But, again, it's noticeable when every button you hit doesn't drop you from the helicopter. So you still have to friggin' hit that to drop. Can I land on here? Hopefully I won't die immediately. That'll be embarrassing. I can. That's kind of surprising, actually. I kind of assumed it would make me go to the ground. Alright. But if anyone else is up here, I'm probably screwed because I have nothing. But anyway, I actually got rid of a lot of the UI, but everything left on screen are things that you can't interact with using the controller. So, I know I'm talking to myself here, but do you see a glaring problem with that? You still have to touch the buttons on screen to use your materia and to use your potion. So, like, it gets your fingers off the screens. Like, it's still better. So it's this weird mix of controller and touchscreen support. You know, like I said, you can move, you can shoot, you can use your melee. Am I gonna die falling off of here? One way to find out. YOLO. Falling damage? Oh, superhero landing. Nice. Okay. I'll take it. So, basically, normal, like, combat controls. Where you at? Where you at, guy? Normal combat controls are on the controller, but there's so many unused buttons because they just left those things on the touchscreen. And I'm sure that'll get better. Like, you know, it is beta. There's not even, like, actual controller mapping on the menu or anything. All you can do is adjust, like, your camera sensitivity and stuff. And, like I said, you can change your, you know, your screen layout and whatnot. I'm not going to stand here super long, though, because I'm probably going to die. It's pretty limited as far as what the controller can do. I do love that there's no falling damage, though. That's super exciting. Hey, guy. Hey, guy. Come on. Yeah, the camera's super sensitive when you have the... Where you at? There we go. When you have the controller, it's not optimized for controller, so it feels really slow to turn. But then when you go into down the sights, it's like super fast. Ah, wow, that was quick. Alright. That was embarrassing. Okay, we'll do one more. I need to not goof around. I was just testing something. Let's switch styles while we're at it. I stopped doing the warrior because it's really chunky, like with the touchscreen controls, to swap between melee and weapons. Because for some reason, when you switch over to melee mode, your button for shooting goes away. So like you have to actually tap on the screen to like re-equip your weapon and then use it. But here, it's just a click, so it's not that bad. So I can do warrior again. But yeah, also, the classes have their own, like, special abilities. So, you level up in the game, and as you level up, you unlock your higher level skills for that class. And I'm meaning level up in-game, or in-match, I mean. Not just the, you know, the victory screen or whatever where you get your experience. But yeah, the fact that you have to, like, tap on screen to do things like interact with chests and whatnot isn't great. But, like, there are a lot of good features about the controller. I'm not seeing anyone. Like, this is weird. I want to take someone out. Like, I can't die immediately again, you know? Oh, he's definitely here. Yep. Oh, geez, what? Where did you come from? That guy came out of nowhere. I don't know if it was lag or what, but that's not cool. Alright, you know what? I think you get the idea. That was another super short, annoying one, but, like, I've shown it off. It's fine. So you get your rewards, your different challenges, and things like that at the end, which you've completed, and the experience toward your class, style, whatever they call it. Like, this game could be really cool. Right now, it's weird and unnecessary. Like, I think it has some potential. And like I said, if they brought it to consoles or something, like, I would probably play it more because it would have proper button mapping and it wouldn't be on a 6-inch screen. So, like, I could actually see around me more and stuff. I'm like, squinting. It doesn't help that, like, I don't have a mount or anything for my phone, so I've just got it, like, sitting on my desk and I'm looking straight down while talking into the mic. So yeah, little weird all around, but it has promise. But as far as this beta test is concerned, I think I'm done playing it because, like, it's just not my thing. And especially with the way the controls work right now, you have to make a lot of sacrifices to enjoy yourself. Anyway, I'm just rambling in the end tag at this point. Let me know what you think, and if you will play this when it comes out. I don't know. Bye.